Very good evening, dear friends. Today we are going to talk on a very important lesson. This is very important from my point of view, from Indians' point of view, from students' point of view. As you know that we are passing through a very difficult stage, very challenging stage. It is due to Corona virus, COVID-19. It was named originated from one of our neighboring countries, that is China, and now throughout the world, it is a it has become a great challenge for everybody. Mighty nations are in trouble. India, being a developing economy, the trouble is something different, and there's the economic challenges as well as political and security challenges also there. In that light, what I'm trying to say, if the COVID-19 one side it has created a problem for the nation, but at the same time what I'm saying that it is an opportunity also for people. It has given us immense opportunity in terms of learning new techniques of online teaching. In this stage or age, we are learning so that the future of the nations, their studies should not be hindered. Let us be very positive. Children, you should be also very positive. You should be very supportive. There's a new way of learning for us, and I am trying to do justice with that. uh, the first lesson, India on the eve of independence, is the first lesson of Indian economics, and it is very important subject. It has been included from last 1 year, that and it is going to be very beneficial for our kids, as it's help to pass them the board examinations in a very easy way if a little bit of concentration is posed. uh, I would like to say that अगर आप थोड़ा सा ध्यान दें, बचपन में कहाँ एक लाइन हम लोग पढ़ा करते थे, जहाँ डाल डाल पर सोने की चिड़िया करती है बसेरा, वह भारत देश है मेरा, वह भारत देश है मेरा। कभी बच्चों आप लोगों ने सोचा कि आखिर ये जो वर्ड आया, ये जो लाइन लिखी गई, जो पोएट्री की दो लाइन हमने जो अभी कहा कि जहाँ डाल डाल पर सोने की चिड़िया करती थी बसेरा, वह भारत देश है मेरा, वह भारत देश है मेरा, आखिर ये लाइन बनी क्यों? कहते हैं वियोगी होगा पहला कवि, आज से उपजा होगा गान, तब निकली होगी कविता अनजान। मतलब ये पोएट्री है, ये हवा में नहीं तैयार होती है, हवा में नहीं बनती है, इसकी लाइनिंग ऐसे नहीं बनती। कहीं ना कहीं कोई कोई वियोग, कोई कष्ट, कोई प्रेरणा, कुछ ना कुछ फैक्ट्स उसके पीछे होते हैं। Indeed, dear friends, what I'm trying to say, India was a very rich country, and thousand years it was under the foreign rule one or the other way. You just recall the great Chandragupta, Asoka, and extent of India's empire up to Afghanistan. A fine example of that was the Bamiyans, statue of Buddha, which was destructed by Taliban, where Wensang also visited. Megasthenes, the great writer, Greek writer, he wrote a lot about India's tradition of knowledge, Ayurveda, etc., etc. In his famous book Indica, और इंडिका कार भी हमारे यहाँ बन गई। तो कहीं ना कहीं से टाटा को आप जान लो कि टाटा इज़ अ ग्रेट एम्पायर, दे आर नॉट अ बिजनेस मैन, दे आर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, द डिफरेंस। आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू एलाबोरेट मच ऑन दैट. What I am trying to say, that India on the eve of independence was not what I just uttered in the beginning, जहाँ डाल डाल पर सोने की चिड़िया करती है बसेरा, वह भारत देश है मेरा. It was a very pathetic condition of India. Many people nowadays they utter that Britishers they have given lot of things to us, but think, will they actually come here to give us? But whether their purpose for in getting entry into India was to help Indians, to educate Indians for their economic development, for their political development, or constructed the parliament and etc. etc. Lutein Delhi, with what you are trying, and somebody may feel proud on that. Was their purpose the same purpose? Time has changed. People are elaborating things due to different regions in different ways. Now come to the topic. On the eve of independence, if you see, India got independence in 1948. Somebody may say 1948. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 15th August 1947. India got independence. And since independence, there is a lot of changes in terms of planning, its execution, and this is a part of second lesson. I am just focusing on the first lesson. So, on the eve of independence, uh, Indian economy can be classified in different ways. It can be said that it is a colonial economy. It was a very backward economy. Some points you can just note down this point. And just I will take some points on those heads. I will try to elaborate this point. First point you will note down: colonial economy. Second is a backward economy. Third is stagnant economy. Note down. First, what I said, colonial economy. Second, backward economy. Third, I said stagnant economy. And fourth, loop-sided economy. Fifth is depleted economy. What I said, just remember, इसका छूट गया और नोट कर लेंगे. What I said, colonial economy, backward economy. Third point, stagnant economy. Fourth point, loop-sided economy. Fifth, depleted economy, dependent economy. So these are the 6 points on which we will just discuss on this. Colonial economy. अंग्रेज जब भारत आए, द यूरोपियन पावर्स दे वर नोन एज द इम्पेरियलिस्ट पावर. आपने पॉलिटिकल साइंस में, डेमोक्रेटिक पॉलिटिक्स में, हिस्ट्री में पढ़ा होगा. इम्पेरियलिस्ट कंट्रीज, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, इटली, all European power, Denmark, Netherlands, all these economic powers. इनको भी हम, इंग्लैंड तो था ही, पोर्तुगीज, स्पेनिश. These European countries, when the industrialization started there, they were in search of a source of raw material, and they were thinking to have a raw material. थोड़ा सा हम डिटेल में हम जाना चाहेंगे आपको. तो जो रॉ मटेरियल की उनकी जो तलाश थी, जो इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन वहाँ शुरू हुआ था. और इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन कैसे शुरू हुआ? इट वाज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ, जिसे हम, आपने अमिताभ बच्चन का ऐड सुना होगा, सिर्फ 2 बूंद जिंदगी के. एंड आई यूज टू से दैट सिर्फ 2 शब्द जिंदगी को बनाने के. वो 2 शब्द क्या है? हाउ एंड वाई. हम जिसको रिनासेंस के नाम से जानते हैं, रिनासा के नाम से जानते हैं, इस रिनासा में यही 2 बूंद, जिसका जो कॉन्सेप्ट था अमिताभ बच्चन का जो ऐड था, पल्स पोलियो ड्रॉप्स, पोलियो इम्यूनाइजेशन का जो प्रोग्राम था, सिर्फ 2 शब्द, हाउ एंड वाई. ये केवल 2 शब्द जिंदगी को बदलते हैं, हाउ एंड वाई. दिस इज कॉल्ड साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट. अगर जिस बच्चे के अंदर साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट हो, जिस टीचर के अंदर साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट हो, जिस सोसाइटी के अंदर साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट हो, जिस पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम के अंदर साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट हो, जिस प्राइम मिनिस्टर, राजा, जो भी कह लें उसको, साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट हो, वो समाज, वो व्यक्ति, वो स्टूडेंट की ज़िंदगी में कोई रुकावट नहीं आएगी. ही और सी विल एबल टू फाइट ऑल द चैलेंजेस. और एग्जैक्टली इट हैपेंड इन यूरोप. दिस रिनासेंस स्टार्टेड. एंड देन यू विल आस्क द क्वेश्चन इज नेचुरल. थोड़ा सा मैं एलोबरेट कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज आई वांट टू क्रिएट इंटरेस्ट, बिकॉज I believe that teaching content is important. Yes, of course it is important, but inspiring students is more important. Once I will able to develop the interest in this lesson, my job is over. That's my firm belief. So let us see how this industrialization started. Renaissance started because the people tried to explore why stars are twinkling in the sky. why night takes place, why sun rises in the particular direction, and why there is, when it rises there is a different color, when it sets color, and in the middle the noon it's a different color. Archimedes, all these people, Galileo, they challenged the traditional way of thinking there. They challenged. Some were punished by the prevailing thoughts of the Catholic Church, but still, somehow these challenges were accepted and they proved, and a new development took place. It's an emergence of a new way of thinking. Renaissance was the emergence of new way of thinking which led to the foundation of, which developed the foundation of scientific science and technology. Michelangelo, Mona Lisa की painting, but the result of all these things was the result of that Renaissance, and this Renaissance was capitalized by England, and industrial revolution started there, and later on other European countries. Now industrial revolution is what is a shift from the traditional way of production system to the new way of production system, that is a mechanized system. एग्रीकल्चर इकोनॉमी से वो चेंज आती है किसमें, मशीन बेस्ड इकोनॉमी में. एंड यू नो डियर फ्रेंड कि अगर आप पावर लूम जो है, हस्तकरघा उद्योग, कुटीर उद्योग में जो हाथ से हम कपड़ों को काटते थे, गांधी जी का चरखा याद होगा आपको, स्लो, बिकॉज हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं थी. गांधी जी का एक विजन, हम उसके लिए अलग लेसन, एक बहुत बड़ा कई घंटों का मैं लेसन उस पर बोल सकता हूँ. तो आप हस्तकरघा उद्योग लो, आप हैंडलूम से जब कपड़े बनते हैं तो वो धीरे धीरे कपड़े बनते हैं, प्रोडक्शन कम होता है. लेकिन जब द मोमेंट पावर लूम केम्स, द प्रोडक्शन एफिशिएंसी इंक्रीज्ड, नंबर ऑफ रोल्स इंक्रीज्ड, प्रोडक्शन की क्वांटिटी बढ़ गई. अब जब क्वांटिटी बढ़ गई, सप्लाई बढ़ गया, प्रोडक्शन बढ़ गया, तो अब उस सप्लाई को कंज्यूम करने वाला कोई तो चाहिए. अब जब माल बिकेगा नहीं तो प्रोडक्शन क्यों होगा, प्रोडक्शन जब नहीं होगा तो एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्यों होगा. अभी समस्या है वहाँ. और जानते हैं आवश्यकता आविष्कार की जननी है, नेसेसिटी द मदर ऑफ इन्वेंशन. अब जब वहाँ प्रॉब्लम हुई तो उस प्रॉब्लम ने इनको फोर्स किया एक्सप्लोर करने के लिए. इज देयर एनी वर्ल्ड बियॉन्ड दिस इंग्लैंड? देन दे स्टार्टेड होल यूरोप में, दिस होल यूरोपियन कंट्रीज, दे ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर द अदर वर्ल्ड, एंड दिस वाज द starting of exploration. Portuguese, they came to India. Why they came to India, इसके लिए भी एक अलग स्टोरी है. That is a papal bull, when order was there by the Pope, they were fighting for their territory, so they tried to avoid this fight and they gave the order papal bull, and that's why the Spain went to the west side and the Portuguese, they came to the east side, and that's why you will see the Spanish colony in Latin American countries. Most of the countries they are speaking Spanish, Argentina, etc. Initially the Portuguese was there in Brazil. So Portuguese economy 1498, is Vasco da Gama landed Cochin, and later on slowly so finally the Britishers landed here by defeating the Portuguese and French and other parties. They were sidelined, and Britishers settled there. So what they did initially, they were making their small areas, and these small areas where their particular kind of rule was prevailing, and this division of political boundary for the economic benefit was known as colony. आज हम देखेंगे रेलवे वगैरह, रेलवे कॉलोनी में जाओ, ईस्टर्न रेलवे, वेस्टर्न रेलवे कॉलोनी, ये सब सारी कॉलोनी हम रेलवे में जो लोग रहे हैं वो जानते हैं इस चीज़ को. So this was the colony. In that colony means there the particular government will work, they will dominate politically, and they will utilize the resources for their own benefit. Up the whole India was colony. Whole India was colony, of whom Britishers. Goa was captured by Portuguese, and Pondicherry was French. So it was a division. A division for what purpose? For health? For road infrastructure development? No. It was for the purpose of what? exploitation. So India was what? Colonial economy. It was a colony. Second point was what? Backward economy. It's very but natural. When outside power they came here, and for the purpose of economic exploitation, it will lead to it is going to lead it will lead to the backwardness of the country. It's natural. कि आपके यहाँ कोई बाहर का आएगा तो आपके बेनिफिट के लिए काम करेगा, अपने बेनिफिट के लिए पहले काम करेगा. जब वो अपने बेनिफिट के लिए ही केवल काम करेगा, सोचता रहेगा, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? डे बाय डे योर इकोनॉमी विल बी good to bad, bad to worse. And this was the fact. India was a backward economy. And backward in the sense of everything. Educational backward, economic backwardness, political backwardness, social backwardness, every kind of backwardness could be seen in the when we got an independence, on the eve of independence. Third point was what? Stagnant economy. Stagnant ठहरे हुए पानी, ठहरा हुआ जो पानी होता है स्टैगनेंट वाटर, जिसमें अगर आप जो एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स दे कैनॉट सर्वाइव. इंडियन इकोनॉमी वाज स्टैगनेंट इकोनॉमी. इट वाज नॉट अ प्रोग्रेसिव इकोनॉमी. देयर वाज नो ग्रोथ इन द इंडियन इकोनॉमी. एंड व्हेन देयर इज नो ग्रोथ, no development, employment problem, income level, everything is downward. Living standard, status of the people is everything was in a poor condition. So it was a stagnant economy.